Hi, and welcome to Color Vision, where we've been creating kaleidoscopes since 2005, both kaleidoscopes and experience. We've been attending markets, showing various kaleidoscopes on offer, and working with a wide range of incredible people, both young and old, who share in this wonderful thing. So, from the markets, we got to see that people are really fascinated. They really enjoy watching the different kaleidoscopes and interacting with them, which made us think of that kaleidoscopes are more than just toys. It's something that can be brought to schools, shared easily, and shown. Why? Because they're fun. So we've come up with something that, because we work with kaleidoscope, we call it kaleidoscope mind. And it's something we come and we present at pre-primary and primary schools as an activity. You can either choose one of them, which is basically an activity table where children get to just look at various kaleidoscopes in the classroom, we get to do a talk, or we can actually do something more. So now, what on earth is a kaleidoscope mind activity workshop? Well, let's look at this. The term kaleidoscope is Greek and is loosely interpreted as an observer of beautiful forms. So, what then is a kaleidoscope mind? Well, it's a type of mind that is agile, flexible, self aware, and informed by a diversity of experiences. It's a mind that is able to perceive any given situation from a multiple of perspectives at will, selecting from a rich repertoire of lenses or frameworks. This would say that a kaleidoscope mind is playful and must be able to see patterns connecting relationships that most rigid minds miss. We believe that kaleidoscope minds can be taught. And through all the time that we've been working with kaleidoscopes in 2005, it's been really interesting to watch children engage with kaleidoscopes because it really gives them that expanded mind viewpoint, and it takes them from this, getting your child from this, uninterested, not really paying attention, bored, to this in just 2 hours in a full kaleidoscope mind activity workshop and experience. How? Well, by tapping into the creative mind of each child using the kaleidoscopes that we bring. So often you see this brilliant mind sitting bored and you think, how on earth am I going to reach out and touch this child? Well, it is by actually using a kaleidoscope. You can turn that boring mind into a child that's engaged, fully present, and ready to learn. Now let's look at why is creativity important in children? Well, I'm sure you know a few reasons, but let's go through that. Creativity fuels the ability to what? Problem solve. Yeah, innovate. It also gives the child the experience to explore new and unfamiliar areas. It is the hallmark of ingenuity, which leads to success in the world of art, science, and technology. And we know that that's a great way to proceed and grow in a world. It gives a child better retention and able to focus. So, children who are encouraged to think creatively exhibit higher self esteem and motivation. And if that's something you want, then let us come and help you at your school today. So, creativity comes with two C's, the little c versus the big C. So, now when researching, researchers describe two levels of creativity. The little c, creativity, is more regular. This is something that most of kids have. It's everyday activity, creativity, such as problem solving on your own or coming up with unusual word associations. Now, a person with a big C, creativity develops ideas that lead to major revolutionary changes, such as those demonstrated by the likes of Darwin, Picasso, and Stravinsky. Now, the thing is, we want to encourage every single child because we believe every single child has that ability within him. And it's important to recognize that creativity is not a general trait. The same person can be creative in one idea, for instance, maths, but not creative in others, such as music. So we have to develop the all-around session for children to actually be creative. So our school workshop activity includes two fundamental aspects of this, and you can either take both of them together or you can choose one over the other. Depending how much time you have, we can come back, do the first set, and then do the second set. So the first set is where we come and actually bring kaleidoscope activity tables. These are tables set out with different forms of kaleidoscope geometry, using different viewing things to look at, giving children a perception of how kaleidoscopes can actually change their left and right brain thinking. It's very interactive, great fun for children in each class. The second part of our workshop, which is the see and feel color and feel what it feels like, is actually more interactive. There's a discussion on light and color. Children get to play and dance in light and color, which is a kaleidoscope projector that we built. And then they get to see their faces, which is a great way for activating their imagination. Another way to get their creative kaleidoscope mind going. So here's another photo of actually the playful brain expansion activity, which again is the interactive kaleidoscope activity tables. Now, creatively, the way that the brain expands by using kaleidoscopes are based on the two different kaleidoscopes that we have. Now, remember, we're working with geometry, so this is just a sample. One of them relies on a glass prism, and that's on the end view chamber to distort, and it repeats the outer environment, perhaps the way a human brain would see through a bug's eye. And this is great fun because the whole world turns into a kaleidoscope, and whatever you look at, depending on the angle, gives you a great different perspective of the world. And because your brain thinks in these patterns, you're actually allowing the child to grow. Now, the second form of kaleidoscope, which is most common, is the kaleidoscope that has a viewing chamber on the end. And that means that there's a mirrored prism and then there's something on the end. What we use is crystals or stained glass, beads, or other colorful objects. And then our ones use oil and it moves in the front. But they're ones that you turn. We have kaleidoscope making workshops where we can actually bring the different pieces of the kaleidoscope and build the kaleidoscope in the class. That's another great activity to have at children. So now isn't it amazing that the brain interprets different frequencies of light as something so beautiful as varied colors? Yes, it is. So now if you imagine you are perceiving light through your eyes, you're taking in those patterns, your brain is engaged, the left brain is looking at the symmetry, and the right brain is looking at the color. And while that's happening, your limbic system is being engaged by looking at these beautiful colors, so you get dopamine, which is a natural form of relaxant in the body. It makes you feel good. So viewing kaleidoscopes is actually a really good way to be present. We also perceive symmetry as beautiful in part because our body's symmetry, yes, left and right side being the same, and reflects a healthy development. Now, isn't that interesting? So we actually view symmetry every single day. So looking through a kaleidoscope is a great way to help bring that home and actually make that more real. So now kaleidoscopes help with creative thoughts. This is very important to know because we in a very left brain society where everything is about making sense, having rows, bringing all of that together. We might have a little bit of creativity, but in general, how many things do we do that links the brain completely? So generally, creativity is the ability to think in unusual ways. It's a type of rational thought called divergent thinking. And as the name suggests, a divergent thinker branches off and diverges from a linear thought, so it offers multiple solutions or answers to a problem. For instance, how many of us can think of a paper clip and what to do with it? Well, most people come up with about 10 or 15 ideas, but highly creative types come up with almost 200 parts. Yes, guys, that means that your left and right brain need to be engaged in a more healthy and fun way. So, invite us to come to your school today. We're ready to come and bring joy. We're ready to come and engage your kids and leave them feeling good about themselves and have a wonderful open experience. Is it time to be curious? Is it time that you want to bring an activation imagination game to your school? Well, call us today. We want to come and help brighten up your school with some color and help you to do just that.